So if you're having any kinds of problems falling asleep at night, and sometimes you find yourself laying in bed for like 30 minutes or 45 minutes or like even an hour or more occasionally. I was in the exact same spot around 3 months ago, and it was honestly very frustrating because I wanted to have this consistent 8 hours a night of sleep and this consistent schedule. And I just heard about this concept called sleep efficiency, which is basically how much time you actually sleep of the time you're spending in bed, because most people don't just instantly fall asleep like this. Fucking weak ass snap. Fuck man, my hands are cold. Fuck that shit. So most people don't fall asleep instantly, and sometimes perhaps you're like getting the fuck up to pee at nighttime once or a couple of times a night. So if you're in bed for 8 hours, you're probably not getting 8 hours of sleep. You're probably getting more like 7 or something like that. So what I decided to do in order to get 8 hours of sleep was to dedicate around 9.5 hours to sleep every night. And what I've discovered is that there's actually one quite simple tactic you can utilize in order to boost your sleep efficiency and to fall asleep much quicker, and it is to view sunlight early in the day, preferably as early as possible, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. And the reason this mechanism is so powerful is that it's deeply wired in our biological system and the biological processes of our body to be connected to when the sun is out and when the sun hits our eyes, because the human body has not really changed in the last like 40,000 years. Of course some have changed, but not really our biological system, like our gut microbiome or our nervous system or our basic instincts. They have not changed. So like for example, if you imagine a caveman tribe, they're all in a big cavern, and it's a dark night, but eventually the sun peeks over the horizon and starts bathing the cavern in light. And one caveman, he opens his eyes and is immediately hit by the sun's beaming light, and he wakes up his fellow tribesmen, and they all go out and start the day. Like, can you imagine how crucial it was for the cavemen to be able to view sunlight in order to know when to stay awake or to fall asleep, or the reverse, when to stay asleep or when to wake up? They did not have fucking watches. That was the only thing they could compare to. So what happens in your body when sunlight hits your eyes is this. So about 16 hours after sunlight hits your eyes, a chemical called melatonin is produced in your body, and melatonin is basically what makes you sleepy. And if you have a lot of melatonin, it's hard to stay awake. Perhaps you've experienced, like when you were younger, you were a little Jeffrey, you were staying up late, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you were watching some bullshit on your phone, and you were trying to stay awake to catch the last moments of the fucking video, but your eyes were just fucking heavy, and it was very hard to stay awake. That was when you had a lot of melatonin. So the ideal scenario would be to have a fuck ton of melatonin exactly when we want to fall asleep. So for example, if you wake up at 7 and you go to bed at 10, you want to make sure that the melatonin is as high as it possibly can be at 10, which is exactly what sunlight does. Because sunlight, it's fucking weird, man, but it's also incredibly useful, because literally you just fucking take a walk straight after waking up, and you look at the sky like this, and you just absorb the sunlight. And like, I promise you, if you do this on a consistent basis, I promise you will see results, bro. So yeah, that's it. So get the fuck out and view some sunlight in the morning. And one more thing, you can also do this in the evening, for example, witnessing the sunset, because if you think about it, that's also going to be an incredibly powerful thing to do, and and an incredibly powerful mechanism. So perhaps if you have a balcony, that's absolutely perfect. You can just get the fuck out on your balcony in the morning and in the evening and witness the sun setting or rising. So that's it. See you later.